Alright, everybody, welcome back. So, basically, what we're doing today is we're doing a rookie review of Matty Beniers. Now, we did something similar to this years ago, back in 2020, I believe, when we were doing the early days of the channel. I was like 13, now I'm 16. And we were doing like season reviews on Jack Hughes and Capo Caco in 2019-20. Well, today we're gonna do the 2023 rookie draft class, and that's going to be Matty Beniers starting off with today. We'll probably do Yuri Slavkovsky, we'll do some of the other guys, etc., because, of course, we want to cover some of the rookies that did do it this year. And we will be doing prospect pool previews as well and looking at teams' prospect pools, so expect some more videos on that in the coming weeks. So overall, we have plans for the offseason, and it's going to be a lot of rookies and young players talk, so it should be a very fun video series for the next couple of weeks. But anyways, Matthew Beniers, let's take a look at what his rookie season was like. But first off, we got to go to a little bit before that, to the day he was drafted. He was drafted in the 2021 draft, second overall by the Seattle Kraken. That was nearly 2 years ago. It's actually nearing that point where it was 2 years ago. And I remember when this guy was drafted, he was actually profiled as one of the best all-around centers. And that was a year in the draft where it was pretty much like a year where it was kind of all out there. Like, that was a season where a lot of teams didn't play, didn't have seasons. A lot of players played on different teams. Fortunately, Beniers was not a victim of that. He did still play on his team. But, for example, like Shane Wright, he played with he was in the OHL for a little bit, but he had to move to a different league to play for that one season. So that's also an effect of that. And that's why this draft is so out there. Like, honestly, if we did a redraft, as good as Owen Power is, I don't think he goes first overall. I got to be entirely honest with y'all. But, of course, that's the story for another day. But in 2021, 2022, with Michigan, he didn't come to the NHL right away. He did actually play some time in the college leagues. He played 37 games, had 20 goals, 23 assists for 43 points. And that already showed, like, even before that, we knew that he was going to be a really solid player. But in that year with Michigan, where he had another breakout season, it showed that he was going to be something special in the NHL. And then he came over for a little bit afterwards. After that season was done with college in Michigan, he came over and played a little bit in the NHL. Now, of course, this was a year where the Kraken were bad. So, of course, there wasn't really much pressure on him. But him coming in, a little bit of optimism, and there was some good optimism out of that, for sure. He played 10 games, had 3 goals, 6 assists for 9 points. So already in his first 10 games, he's damn near a point per game, which is great for a player like him, a guy who was hyped up to be so good. And him taking the step like that showed that, yeah, he's going to be special. He's definitely going to be something in the NHL. And heading into this season, a lot of people had him at number 1 in their Calder voting, and I believe I was one of them. And Beniers had this season where it was just unreal. And the Kraken themselves were surprising. They were a team that was a bunch of misfits. They weren't expected to be all too much. And they were and I had them actually finishing around the 7th in their division. That's kind of where I had them finishing. However, they did much better than that. They went in the first wild card spot, and I believe they were 4th in their division, which was great. Beniers played a big role in that, who played 80 games, had 24 goals, 33 assists for 57 points in his Calder winning season. And a guy who is coming over as a barely established NHL forward, scores 25 goals off the bat is amazing. And I think he's one of those players that in this next season, if he doesn't have that sophomore slump, he could have like a Tim Stutzel-like year and reach the 90-point mark or the 85-point mark. Like, he could have a really solid year coming up. And then I believe after that his contract does expire, so he isn't RFA in 2024 if I'm correct. But Beniers, another player and another guy in Seattle who's really hyped up to be something good. And they acquired Edward Sale in the draft. They got Shane Wright as well. Kraken are looking pretty good right now, young-wise. And heading into that playoffs, they were a team that was a bunch of misfits. And they were a team that was like not looked at to be too much. And, of course, Colorado was the second seed, and they won the Central. So they ended up playing Seattle, and they beat them in 7 games. Seattle beat them in 7 games, which is absolutely insane for a team that was in their first year in the playoffs, wasn't meant to even be in the playoffs by a lot of people, and they beat them. They beat the defending Stanley Cup champions, which was absolutely amazing to watch. Beniers, during that series with Colorado and with Dallas, he played 14 games, had 3 goals, 4 assists for 7 points. was again another key role in that playoff run that Seattle had towards the second round. And as well as that too, I remember the game 3, I believe, against Colorado, where the Kraken. I was watching with my grandfather. The Kraken scored with like 2 goals just barely apart from each other, and Beniers scored the second one. It was absolutely amazing. And Beniers is one of the huge reasons why this team is such an exciting team to watch. I enjoy the hell of watching Seattle play. They're actually one of my favorite teams in the league now because of the season they just had. That's just how enjoyable they are to watch. And even though they have my Dave Hackstall and whatever, but overall, like just that shows me some really good optimism for the future. And then when it came to the Calder voting, and he beat the second place voter, which I think was Stuart Skinner, by 700 points. He had 1,836 points in the Calder voting. He had 160 first place votes, 29 second place votes, 6 third place votes, and 1 fourth place vote. No fifth place votes, so that's something he has over Connor McDavid. But overall, like that is absolutely amazing for a player who was the first ever draft pick by Seattle, was hyped up to be so great, and now he had nearly a 60-point season in his first year in the NHL. It just goes to show that Beniers is really going to be something in the league. So yeah, that's all I got for this one. Thank you all for watching. We'll definitely do another one of these. I definitely want to do like either Juraj Slavkovsky, Shane Wright, or someone else that I'm not thinking of right now. Maybe Wyatt Johnston, Stuart Skinner. Who knows? We'll definitely bring up some more rookies and reviews. But I love doing these. I want to keep doing more of them. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.